Hello, thank you so much for joining me for Lunchtime Look. My name is Sharon Rogers and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Wells, Maine. And every Thursday at noon, I like to bring you a little creative break. So let's get started. This project that I'm going to show you, I literally was woken up in the middle of the night with this idea after filming Sunday's Scrappy Sunday. So I wanted to mash up my favorite embossing folder, the Sunflower 3D embossing folder, with an element from Scrappy Sunday's layouts. Let's check it out. Let's begin by bringing in the Country Woods Designer Series paper. And there are all sorts of just wood grains in here, but I'm not really going to use them as wood grains necessarily. This reminds me of denim, so I'm bringing this piece in. And then I like these darker pieces right here. And I need a piece that is going to be on a card front. So I need a piece that's 4 by 5 1/4. This looks like it. Yep, this is 4 by 5 1/4. So we're going to keep that one. And let's bring in our embossing folder. And let's bring in our machine as well. Actually, I have two pieces here. Let me see, they're slightly different length here. So let's see, this is 5 1/4. This is not quite 5 1/4. So I want the 5 1/4 one. We'll bring in our embossing folder. That gets sandwiched between numbers 1 and 4. We'll run that through. And before I put this away, I also want to set this aside, and I'm going to do something with this in just a moment. I'm going to bring this piece back in that I started with, and also because there's some wood grain in here and embossing, it gets a little tough to see. So let's go ahead and rub the pad over this, and that will just bring out that embossing. And notice I am changing the directions because I want to get it in all those little crevices to really bring out that look. So it's still not overpowering, but it's there. I can take this and I will adhere it to my card base. All right. Now I'm going to be creating a pocket. That's the element from Sunday's Scrappy Sunday that I wanted to recreate. So I'm going to bring in this piece right here. It's Misty Moonlight. And I'm going to make it look kind of denim-y. So let's see. Let's go with 2 1/2 by 2 3/4. Let's do that. Let's see how that's going to look on our card front. So that would, I think I'm going to have it go this way. It's going to be kind of a short pocket. And to create a pocket, we just need to angle cut down here. Now on Scrappy Sunday, we measured 1/2 inch up from this point on this side and 1/2 inch in from this side, and then connected the two and cut them, and did the same on the other side. But you don't really have to measure. I'm cutting this piece off, and so that I get the exact look on the other side, I'll just flip this over and line up the corner, those two edges. Let's see, line them up, hold it firm, and cut. And now we have a nice little symmetrical piece. Looks definitely like a pocket. While we have our piece out here, let's go ahead and emboss on a piece of Darling Duckling. And you can choose any image that you want. You want one that's got most of a full flower. So this is a full flower right here. This one's a full flower in a different kind of direction. I wonder how wide this is. If I bring in my card base, that's going to be pretty wide. Can I stuff? I think I can stuff that into a pocket though. Let's see what we got here. And just in case, I'm going to get that whole flower and part of this one. Bring in our pieces again, and we will emboss. All right. While we've got this out, let's go ahead and take our darling duckling. Might be better to do this. I don't know if it's better to do it before or after, but I'm going to just add a little bit more definition by dragging that pad over there. And there we go. We've got a little bit of a stripe action going there, but it's all right. It's probably not the piece I'm even really going to use. So let's take our paper snips and we're going to cut out this flower right here. I'm just going to go all the way around and fussy cut. Time to speed up. It won't take too long because this is two-tone paper, so there's less resistance, but still there's a little bit of in and out work. So let's speed it up. Okay. Well, let's bring in my little pocket and bring back my card base. Let's see, if I put this here and I could just tuck this in there just like that. Now I think this right here is really a leaf. I don't think it is a petal. And so I'm going to cut that off. And I'll probably cut off this little piece too, because now that one looks weird sticking out there. So what I can do though is put this on a bit of an angle. So we have something that looks, it's just popping out of that pocket just a little bit. I like that. All right, and I'm going to cheat it off to this side a little bit here. We need our center to be a little bit more representative of a sunflower. So I think I can do this. This is a big blending brush. I probably should use a small one. We're just going to use the tip on here and just color in this center. Just very carefully. It's okay that we get a little bit of brown outside into that area. Another way you can color is to take your Stampin' Write markers, which are going away. As soon as they sell out, they'll be gone for good. You can also use some blends, some Stampin' blends, and just kind of brush it over the top here. So that looks a little bit more like a sunflower center. All right, let's put some dimensionals on the back of our piece here. We'll use up some edges. How about that? I love this particular design of the country woods as well. Now nothing's going to be inserted into this pocket that can fall out because I'm going to adhere this down. But if you were making this pocket to hold something like a little note or money, something that could be removed, then you would want to maybe put some at the bottom here too so that whatever was in there didn't fall out. Let's put this right about here. It's kind of centered. And then we're going to put this right in here so it's just popping out. Just popping out of that pocket, maybe on a little bit of an angle. Can adhere that down with regular adhesive. There we go. Now we need to decorate this. Now, I didn't do this beforehand because I had an idea what I wanted to do. I want to take some ribbon. And if you recall, Technique Tuesday this week showed you some ribbon tricks and tips of how you could apply it to cards or projects. And one was tying a knot. So let me show you and remind you how to do that in case you missed Technique Tuesday. You might want to go back. You're going to thread this through, and you're going to take your left end and put it over and then under that right end. I can adjust this afterwards. I want this a little higher. But then when you pull it, you'll have your two ends you want facing north and south. So put a finger on there to hold it, and then pinch the top ribbon between your thumb and your knuckle of your index finger. Take the south facing ribbon, go over the other end and through the hole. And then you're going to pull this tight, and you'll end up pulling a little bit tighter with the right hand side. And look at that beautiful knot that you have, and it's very flat, so it's not going to get in the way. I can adjust this a little bit to bring it a little bit more to the side. But then let's just trim those ends. Really nice little bow. This end needs to be trimmed a little bit more, I think. There we go. And now we need a sentiment. I'm going to bring in, I think this is from Farmhouse Florals. And it has one sentiment that says, let's celebrate you. I'm going to bring in a scrap piece of paper here. I stamp this in Early Espresso. And I already know which stylish shape I want to use because that fits on there very nicely. I'll take a little piece of adhesive. This is just, you can use any kind of tape here that you want. I'm using a washi tape-like tape. It's called mint tape. You can certainly use a Post-it. It's a lot less expensive, I think. And then because we are die cutting, we need some different plates. So we need number 1, 2, 3, your die and cardstock. And then we need another number 3. Just gonna roll that on through there. Okay. Here we go. Let's bring back our card and some dimensionals. Looks like we can use up this edge. Great. And we'll take the backings off and just put this right over on the right hand side of that pocket. Just like that. And we could bring in some, I have somewhere here, the in color dots, 2025, 2027 in color dots, and Darling Duckling is one of those colors. Now you can play with your ribbon if you want it to not cover up your words. People will figure it out. And then maybe we just put a little one down here to kind of tie it all together. On the inside of the card, we will need a layer of basic white. And I think I have one already here. I often have a lot of them pre-cut and ready to go so that I don't have to stop and cut. I think this one is it. There we go. So that will go right inside. Now remember we had this flower. If we just fussy cut around this, or at least a portion of it, we can also use this. And if you'll notice, this one comes straight off at the edge, but what I can do is I can just align that with the edge. So that just makes that, I think that comes in a little bit too far. So what I would probably do is not go quite so far in. I would just align this straight edge on the bottom and bring some of it off to the left. Ooh, I forgot to add a little bit of early espresso here. You can make it really soft with this. You can add a little bit more color, though, with the marker if you wanted to. Just flip this over, trim that excess off. Now this Farmhouse Floral stamp set that I used my greeting for the front also has a happy birthday. So let's celebrate you on the outside, and then we can do happy birthday. Oops, happy birthday on the inside. Let's get our early espresso out again. Happy birthday. And so there we have just a cute little card. Executing the pocket idea from Scrappy Sunday, and again showing that beautiful sunflower folder. Oop, that's too high. There you go. Thanks for joining me. The project that I had in my mind that woke me up looks very similar to how I executed it, and I really like it. A pocket is very easy to add to a card on the outside, as we saw today, but also on the inside to hold a special note or a gift card or some cash. So consider making a little pocket. All you need to do is start with a rectangle or even a square and make a couple snips in the corners. And if you love that embossing folder as much as I do, get it while you can. As of the time that I'm filming this, it is on low inventory again. So grab it if it's still available. You can find the link in the description of this video. And I hope you will join me tomorrow night for Friday Night Live. Not sure what I'm doing yet, but it'll be from the campground and we'll have some fun. So check that out in my YouTube channel tomorrow night at 7. Have a great rest of your week, everyone.